Thinking about moving to Braselton or Hoschton, whether you're moving from somewhere else in the state, maybe you're moving from out of state, maybe you're looking for an investment property, it's your first home buy ever, or maybe it's that next dream home, we are going to be talking about Braselton and Hoschton. Why? Because they are both right next to each other in close proximity. So I'll be talking about the schools, what to do, of course, real estate, and a whole lot of other things that you need to know about Braselton and Hoschton. Hi, my name is Rip Pruitt, aka Rip the Realtor, and my channel is all about moving to Georgia, primarily the Atlanta area and all the North Metro areas above it. So please hit that subscribe button, and if you are thinking about moving, love for you to reach out. Now, as I said earlier, we're going to be talking about Braselton and Hoschton. I don't normally do two towns in the same video, but there's a few reasons why I'm doing that today. One, the proximity. They are right next to each other. Sometimes I'm not even sure when I've crossed over to Braselton or from Braselton to Hoschton because they are that close. Also, they are very similar in terms of how much development is going on and the rate and the speed at which development is going on. There's a lot of new builds going on, a lot of new construction homes. There's a lot of new businesses opening up, shopping centers. It's just some great booming towns. And we're going to talk a little bit more later in the video specifically about some of the development that's going on. Now, both are great choices if you're trying to stay in that North Metro Atlanta area, especially when you compare it to a couple of the cities that are right close to it on the way up to it. For example, Johns Creek or Suwanee. So just to do a little comparison of the average home sales price. So if you're in Johns Creek, you're looking for a single family detached home, the average sales price you're looking at is going to be right around $843,000. It's gone up a lot over the last few years. Suwanee, which is right next to Johns Creek, it also has a little bit higher price tag. You're looking at an average home price of around $725,000. So now again, here is why I love taking people to Braselton and Hoschton. Average home sales price there is $540,000 and $526,000. So you're talking about anywhere between $200,000 to $300,000 cheaper on average home sales prices. Now, Hoschton is located right in Jackson County, which we'll talk a little bit more about Jackson County. Braselton is pretty unique. It's actually made up of 4 different counties. You have Hall County, Gwinnett County, Jackson County, and Barrow County. So those 4 counties are all within Braselton, whereas Hoschton is just the one county of Jackson County. Now, if you find Braselton and Hoschton on the map, you may see there's not a whole lot going on in the surrounding areas. Just north above it is a town called Pendergrass. Pendergrass is known for their flea market. People from miles and miles around come to the Pendergrass flea market. Love to barter, love to negotiate. There's also things for the kids. They do bouncy houses, pony rides, all kinds of different things. So as far as it goes with flea markets, this is one of the more fun and bigger and just lots of stuff to do type of flea market. So the reason that I say there's not a whole lot going on around the towns, you can take a look at a map, and as you look, you can see the lighter kind of grayish tan areas. Those areas represent development. There's lots of development going on. If you're looking at the green areas, that's not so much development. That's more rural areas. So really, as you go north, even though we have a lot of folks in the Atlanta metro area who are making that move to Hoschton, to Braselton, even people in the North Metro area of Atlanta making that move to Hoschton and Braselton, it's arguably could be more considered the Athens metro area than the Atlanta metro area. But I would say it's one of the most northern stops for when people are thinking of moving from Atlanta and going up north, especially those folks who are wanting to get more of that rural vibe and a little bit less of the suburbs. So with Braselton and Hoschton, you can get the suburban vibes, but then right outside your neighborhood, you feel like it's more of a rural vibe going on. It's obviously not the same as far as the development goes as Atlanta, those North Metro areas. There's just more things. There's going to be more restaurants, more shopping, things like that. But Braselton and Hoschton are really making a push. They're getting a lot of things developed, a lot of things going, a lot of business opening up there. Now, as far as that location of Braselton and Hoschton, it is easy to get there because Interstate 85, one of the main interstates that runs through Atlanta, runs straight there from Atlanta to Hoschton, Braselton. You're looking at just under an hour drive from really kind of the middle of Atlanta, right in the center of the perimeter, to Hoschton, Braselton. So not too bad of a drive. And like I said, it's easy because it's interstate all the way. So let's talk about population and population growth because it's a little crazy. So let's look at Braselton first. So Braselton population in 2011 was 7.7 thousand people. Last year in 2021, it was 14.4 thousand people. That's an 87% growth over the last 10 years. It's almost doubled in size in the last 10 years. So people are loving Braselton. Now let's look at Hoschton, because Hoschton in 2011 was at 1.4 thousand as far as population. 2021, it's at 3.5 thousand people. That's 150% growth in 10 years. That's over 2.5 times the population growth. So you can see that Braselton and Hoschton is really coming up on the map. People are really starting to recognize that those two areas are great towns to move to and live in. I always like to give my niche.com ratings. And so for Braselton, it's got another A. It's a combination of it's got great schools, the housing, it's great for families. Hoschton, they drop down a little bit. They get a B. Now, primarily the reason they got a B is because niche.com gives them a C in nightlife. And so that's pretty obvious. You know, we just talked about the makeup and how Braselton and Hoschton, everything around it is more rural. So if the nightlife is important to you, these two areas may not be the place to go, especially Hoschton, because it brought down their niche grade. So let's talk about schools. And again, schools in both these towns are great. They're top notch. Braselton, be careful where you move, because with 4 different counties, you're looking at 4 different school systems that you're going into. So you've got to be selective, do your due diligence, do your homework, reach out to me. You can get my opinion. But as you're trying to figure out if Braselton is the place to go, well, now you've also got to figure out which county in Braselton are you drawn to. As I said before, Hoschton just sits in Jackson County. That's the only county that makes up Hoschton. People who are out there, they love the Jackson County school system. They think it's the greatest. It is ranked above average. It's a great school system. One thing to note, just last year, they put into effect a mandatory kind of uniform type of dress code. So the shirts either have to be, I believe it's white, navy, or tan. And then the pants or the skirts have to be either tan or navy. And so that is for elementary and middle schools, not the high school. I don't know if that will be in the future, but for middle schools and high schools, they have that mandatory dress code that almost comes across as a uniform style. Some people love it, some people don't. A lot of times parents love it. It's easy to dress your kids for school in the morning. You don't have to make as many choices. All right, so let's talk about things to do up in the Hoschton, Braselton area. We can't talk about that area without first mentioning Chateau Alon, the Chateau Alon Winery. This place, it has so many different things going on. It has a resort there, it has a hotel there, it has villas, has a spa there, a golf course. It even has its own neighborhood where you can live in the Chateau Alon area. It's got a great winery where they make their own wine, grow their own grapes there, so you can go. Makes a great weekend to get away, to experience all that. But Chateau Alon is a beautiful spot with lots to do. You definitely should experience that. People come from miles and miles away to experience Chateau Alon. It's a popular spot from Atlanta and even out of state. So as we're talking about homes in Chateau Alon, I'm going to let you see one of the most expensive homes in there and then one of the least expensive homes in there that are active, that are for sale right now. So the first one we're going to look at is just under $2.5 million. It is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath house. It's just under 12,000 square feet, so pretty nice size home, and it sits on over an acre. Now, as you can see, this thing is pretty grand as you come up. It's got a beautiful driveway with a turnaround, a fountain out front. As you walk in, you'll see everything is grand, everything is huge. It's got over 20-foot ceilings. It sits on the 6th hole of the golf course up there. Everybody loves that hole. Beautiful pool with a grand staircase that comes down overlooking that. You've got a spillover waterfall hot tub, which obviously is beautiful. So you can sit in your hot tub or your pool and overlook that gorgeous golf course that everybody loves to come play. You can see too, they've got a beautiful gas fire pit right across from the pool to gather around. Everything in this house is grand, is big. You can see the foyer walking into marble. Not long after going into it, you're going to see what I like to call a cigar room office. I don't even know if that's the appropriate thing you call it, but it's a full judges panel, coffered ceilings, just a beautiful wood room. It has its own elevator. You never want to have to walk up too many steps, right? Everybody needs an elevator in their home. The living room is grand, is beautiful, huge fireplace, again, huge 20-foot ceilings. And here you can see the primary bathroom. This thing is so big and complicated, you need to make sure that you have a GPS on you. So when you get out of the shower, you can find your way back out. Look at this thing. There's islands in the middle of the shower. Wait till you see this walk-in closet. This walk-in closet looks like I just walked into a Banana Republic. That thing is crazy. It is beautiful. So now let's take a look at one of the more economically priced homes in Chateau Alon. Still a beautiful home, still huge. This one is coming in at $750,000. It just recently went under contract, so it is pending. But this is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house. Again, beautiful entrance coming up. You've got the roundabout. You've got your own private gated entrance, which you already have a gated entrance into the neighborhood. And now this is another gate into your home. So for $750,000, this is a great buy to be in the Chateau Alon community. The rockwork alone and the landscape and all the hardscapes at this house is tens and tens of thousands of dollars. You can see walking in, it's a beautiful foyer walking in. You don't have the steps right at front. You have the catwalk looking over the foyer. Great open concept with a 2-story stacked stone fireplace. This home has a awesome terrace level, aka basement, with its own stacked stone fireplace, enough room obviously for a pool table, maybe a ping pong table, tons of room down there in the basement to do a theater room. Not only is this home beautiful, but the outside amenities are great too. You have this huge brick patio with the wrought iron railing, great concrete patio down low, looking a great wooded private backyard. You've even got your gazebo out there. Just overall, a beautiful home and a great buy for $750,000 in the Chateau Alon community. So that gives you an idea of what you can buy in Chateau Alon. So as you can see, it's more than just a spa resort winery. It's more than just a golf course you can play. You can also live and enjoy your life there at Chateau Alon. Beautiful homes there. Now, as I said, we can't talk about Hoschton or Braselton without talking about Chateau Alon. In the same way, we cannot miss talking about Road Atlanta, also called the Michelin Raceway. Tons of fun to have up there, whether you're going with a date or whether you're taking the whole family or just the kids or whatever it may be. It's a great time. There's cool things to see there. Also all kinds of races to experience. The Petit Le Mans happens there every year, which is a huge race, brings race fans from miles around. You may not want to buy real estate right by the racetrack. You may want to. I've had clients who they did not want to be near it because they didn't want to hear it. And I've had clients who purposely, they wanted to be close to the raceway because they loved hearing the cars. They loved being able to go catch the races. If you do decide to head up to Road Atlanta, just know there's all kinds of options. You can pay money. You can camp up there. You can take your RV up there. You can rent golf carts so that you can park and zip around on the golf cart all around the racetrack. So there's just lots of options you can do, lots of experiences to have. You should definitely check out Road Atlanta. Of course, you know, I've got to talk about real estate. So let's take a second to talk about real estate in Hoschton and Braselton and why I like that area. First off, there is rapid development going on. As you saw on the map, once you start getting out past North Metro Atlanta, it's just green space, not a whole lot going on. And then you get to Hoschton and Braselton, and there's crazy development going on, especially for the size towns that Hoschton and Braselton are becoming and what they were. There's lots of people who are moving there, which I'm sure some of the residents of Hoschton and Braselton are not as big of fans of that, but there is also a huge population surge, as we had talked about earlier in the video. There are more homes that are being built, lots of new construction happening up there, as well as there's just lots of green space nearby that can still have potential to be developed. There's also high ceilings for real estate appreciation, meaning the way we've seen homes continue to increase, the way we've seen development, the population growth, buying a home there now, we should see great appreciation there over the next few years. So if we look at the sales price year over year, let's take a look at Braselton first. We're seeing average sales price around $540,000. That is a 15%, just a little over 15% year over year increase. That's a great return on your home. If we're talking about Hoschton, average sales price is right around $526,000. That is over a 21% year over year growth. So again, awesome opportunity, whether you're investing or whether this is just your next dream home. It's a great place to buy a home. There's tons of room for your home to appreciate and that home value just to grow and accumulate. Even as we look at days on the market in Braselton, we're looking at about 13 days on average is what we saw last month. In Hoschton, we were seeing about 10 days on average, meaning once the home is listed, that is the amount of days it takes to go under contract. I'll be curious to see what's happened in October when that information comes out. We have seen just a little bit of a shift, but again, in September, home sales are still booming, going fairly quick, and home prices are strong there. So if you're thinking about moving to Hoschton or Braselton, please reach out. I'd love to answer any questions and help you out in any way that I can. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Love y'all. God bless.